This is the engine oil before the break-in, and this is the engine oil just after 30 minutes of runtime. We got lots of tiny metal particulates floating around in there. Would you want that floating around in your engine for any extended period of time? Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB, and if you're like me, you like to keep your engine as clean as possible so it can last longer. Well, before we begin, I've performed these procedures on all my small engine equipment, plus many others. And in my experience, I've never had a machine operate poorly or fail after doing this. This ARIENS DELUXE 24-inch snowblower is brand new, and so is the oil inside. It came filled with engine oil from the dealer, and I checked with my dealer to see if they performed a proper engine break-in on this unit, and they did not. It's not something that they normally do, so I'm gonna. If your ARIENS snowblower is brand new and not properly filled up with engine oil, you're gonna wanna go ahead and check your manual and fill it up to the specified level. The oil currently in this snowblower, according to my dealer, is Kinetics 5W30. This is a great engine oil containing zinc anti-wear additives, and I'll have it linked down below in the description. From here, I went ahead and installed an hour meter on this ARIENS DELUXE snowblower. This will give me an accurate runtime on this engine from the second it starts. I find these to be pretty handy, super easy to install, and you'll find them on just about every small engine in my garage. I'll have them linked down below, as well as a video on how to properly install them. Now I'm gonna start this engine up and get it out in the driveway and let it run for 30 minutes. It's the dirty 30, baby. I'm just gonna let it sit in the driveway and run. Simple as that. From time to time, while it's sitting out there running, I'll put a load on the engine by pushing down on the auger lever. Some small engine mechanics have taught me in the past that it's good to work the engine this way, just a little bit harder if possible. In my experience, I've never had an issue just letting the engine sit and run as is. Just letting it sit there and simply run will be more than enough to break this engine in. And to help break this video in with the YouTube algorithm, would you mind hitting that like button? Thank you. All right, it's been 30 minutes. Let's start shutting her down. And pull the key. That's it. The engine's now run for officially 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and get her back in the garage. Now the goal here is to change the oil while it's still hot, so let's get going. I'm gonna slide a few blocks of wood up underneath the front end of the snowblower. This will help the oil drain out faster out the back. All right, let's loosen this up. This is a 10 millimeter. Let's get some oil out. Here we go. Let's see what we got. Try to catch some first so we can get a good look at it. And boom, there we go. Oh yeah, definitely darker already. The rest will go in the pan. That'll be good. Look at that. Frothy little cup of joe right there, huh? This is the engine oil before the break-in, and this is the engine oil just after 30 minutes of runtime. We got lots of tiny metal particulates floating around in there. Would you want that floating around in your engine for any extended period of time? I wouldn't. That oil is dirtier than a motel hot tub on a Saturday night. Wow. Every time I do this, I'm always super curious to see what I find inside because you only get to do this once in a while. Those tiny bits inside have some shine to them. And those tiny bits that we see inside are actually particles from the cylinder wall and the piston. This here is a small engine piston, and inside a cylinder, as it's passing up and down, initially what it's gonna do is set its grooves, and any particles that wear off are gonna drop off into the oil. I wanna get all those particles out quick so none of those particles cause any long-term damage down the road. Flushing these particles out is a great idea. And speaking of flushing things out, I'm gonna take an extra step here. Now, I have some extra 5W30 full synthetic oil, and I'll get more into this in a moment, but inside an engine, there's lots of little nooks and crannies where oil can get trapped inside, and so can all those particulates. So what I wanna do is pour some of this in and give it a quick flush and see if any more particulates can be flushed out of this engine. I'm gonna pour this oil in up at the top, and let's see if anything else makes its way out. Here we go, here it comes. Doesn't look too bad at all, really. I mean, it looks pretty clean as it's making its way down to the pan at the bottom. See one little tiny speck floating there. Pretty hard to pick up on camera. I still think doing an extra flush like this is a good thing because this is catching the particles that we can't see with the naked eye. Now that the oil's kind of wrapping up, I do kind of notice this dark stream starting to come out. So that could be some particulates that were trapped inside. I'd say at this point, we're actually looking really good. I don't see much garbage flowing out beyond what we already had. The oil looks pretty clean. Looks like we're ready to move on. I'll tell you what though, this is gonna be one really clean running engine. That about wraps her up, so let's plug her back up and fill her back up. Get her nice and snug And good. I don't know if my camera's gonna pick this up, but there is just a little bit of darkness floating around in here too. We're gonna remove our blocks and level this snowblower back out. Now we're gonna pour some fresh oil back in, and the manual calls for a variety of oils, which is nice, but let's be real here, we're not snowblowing when it's 80 or 100 degrees out. Not happening. So what we gotta do is go with our 5W30 because that's gonna be best for our climate, and the manual up here says that full synthetic oil is an acceptable alternative. Cool. And at the school that I teach at, there's a small engine program, and there was a teacher that was there for over 40 years. Now, he swore by using full synthetic oils because they flow better in colder temperatures and resist extreme heat better, allowing your engine to just simply run smoother. And ever since I started using it, all my small engines have ran perfectly with no major mechanical issues. Now, I have some Super Tech 5W30 full synthetic here. I've been using this for years, and it's a Walmart special, and hey, I'm a baller on a budget. I have seen this oil run in trucks consistently with over 300,000 miles, and I've never had an issue with it in any small engine in my garage. So say what you want to say, but it's cheap, it's readily available, and it works great. We're gonna fill this oil back up to the correct level, and now this snowblower is ready to go. Now here's a few other points that I wanted to cover with this engine break-in. This ARIENS Deluxe came with 3 owner's manuals. Well, one's in another language. It came with a standard operator's manual and an engine operator's manual. And I gotta hand it to ARIENS. They do an outstanding job with their owner's manuals. This is something they do really well. You get a Toro, you're lucky if you get a hand-drawn picture. They're very detailed with maintenance schedules and everything. But ARIENS may have slipped up here on one thing. The engine operator's manual states that you're supposed to change the oil at the first month or the first 20 hours. That's a bit of a stretch. Then it recommends changing the oil every 6 months or every 200 hours. Then on the maintenance schedule in their operator's manual, it says to change the oil annually, which I do agree with, or as needed. Now, in my experience, changing the oil after a month or 20 hours is just far too long to wait. You can see what we already have just after 30 minutes. This is what I do, and in my path to setting up a new engine, this has never steered me wrong. First, I change the oil at the 30-minute mark. Then after that, what I do is change the oil at the first 5-hour mark. This is what we typically see on most other small engines like mowers, snowblowers, and other small engine equipment. And then what I'm going to do at the end of the season before I tuck the snowblower away for summer storage is I'll change the oil again at the end of the season. This path has never steered me wrong. It works great. You're flushing out all the garbage that's inside that engine. And for season 2, you're ready to go. After that, I proceed as normal, changing the oil annually. Now, some out there have also recommended using AMSOIL break-in oil. You could also use that too. And AMSOIL break-in oil contains more zinc and phosphorus to help with the whole break-in process. It is a little bit more pricey though. Some may also recommend using some oils over other oils and have some valid points. I'm just a big fan of keeping it realistic and using what I have. Now, I get a lot of comments from snowblower owners saying that they've never changed their oil, probably never will. You do you, but my question to you is, could your engine be running better than what it currently is? I also know somebody that did that, and while it did last a number of years, one day during a heavy snowstorm, their engine seized. His engine was cooked, and he had no way of clearing his driveway when he had over a foot of snow. So you gotta ask yourself, is it cheaper to put fresh oil in once in a while, or just simply buy a new snowblower? Remember, oil is cheap, engines are expensive, change your oil. And if you want your entire snowblower to last a lifetime, be sure to check out my full snowblower rust proofing course linked down below in the description. For more cool garage gear content, click or tap the screen right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage.